Good day, everyone, and today we are going to learn a new skill. I'm going to teach you how to create a very simple design that you can use to, print a card for. So, first thing you need to have is the application that we're going to use. It's Ibispaintx. So, for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm also going to use a regular stylus pen so I don't block your view. Alright, so let's go ahead and open the app. It should look like this. Let's tap that. Alright, so as you open it, you will see that you have various options in this view. You want to tap My Gallery. And if you notice, I already have a bunch of designs completed. So for today, we're going to make this. It's very simple, it's very easy. You can follow along as I press, and let's do it. Alright, so let's go back and recreate it. Let's press the plus sign here to open a canvas. And now since we're just posting this on Instagram, we want to choose the 1:1 ratio with a 768 by 768 pixel size. All right, so I'll choose that. All right, and this is how it should look like. So to start with our background, we will be using a ruler. So we're gonna go up here on this icon and choose that. Okay. And then we would like to extend and enlarge that circle towards the edges of the square. Now if you want to enlarge or to zoom out the square, you can just pinch it or adjust it to your liking. So you can see the edges. I will do this. Alright, so let's go ahead and choose a brush. So to choose the brush, you just click the brush icon and choose brush. Now you will need the airbrush triangle shape. And for you to use and put this on your custom brushes, you just click the plus sign and it should go to your custom brushes for ease of use. Alright, so I'm gonna choose that. And then you can adjust the thickness of your brush. And I'm going to choose a size that's about around 400. Okay. Now if we tap the square beside it right here, we have the option to choose different colors or palettes that you'd like to use. So since we've used red, orange, and yellow on our first sample, we'll do something different. Let's go ahead and choose, I'm going to choose blue, something dark. I'm going to set this to the darkest tone right here. Now I've set my opacity to the highest. Alright, and let's go ahead and paint. Click the arrow down and let's go ahead and start painting the side. Just go around in circles so that we'll have that gradient effect. Right. I'm gonna do one more here. All right. Now let's adjust the circle to something that's smaller, right? So we're adjusting it towards the center. And I'm going to choose a different shade, and I want it to be more of a purple tone. Probably use this. There you go. So if you don't like blue, purple, or pink, you can just adjust your color wheel and choose your tones. The important thing is you have a dark, a medium, and a light tone. Depends on what color you want. So I'm just gonna choose this purple tone, and I'm going to just follow the circle. Just follow the circle. There you go. And towards the center, I am going to use pink, and I'm going to adjust that to, a smaller size. All right, so I'm just going to adjust that to a smaller sized brush. There you go. And I'm going to just follow the circle in the middle. There you go. All right, and lastly, I'm going to do white. And my opacity would always be full. There. Okay. So I don't need the circles anymore, so I'm going to turn off the ruler for now and go back to my canvas. All right. Now we're done with the background. We want to layer our design so that if you want to change the background, you want to change the colors, you want to change the palette, it's easier to do that if you have layers. So let's add another layer. So just click this or tap this, hit the plus sign, and you have another layer. So we will be working on the second layer, so it has to be the one that's highlighted. All right, and let's go ahead back to our canvas. Now we will be needing the circles again, and so let's go ahead and bring it back. Okay, so we will adjust. Wait, give me a second, let me just delete the, there you go. All right, so we turned it back on and added a circle. So we want to have we want to draw two circles for the head of the bird. I want it to look big so that it's more cartoony, and I'm not going for a realistic type of drawing, so I want it a bit big. All right, so I'm gonna draw a circle, and I'm going to switch to a different brush. You want to look for the dip pen that's hard. So I'm gonna choose this one, and then the thickness, I'm gonna make it, doesn't matter if it's too big, but something that I could just see. All right, and then I'm going to choose the color of my brush, and I want it black. Opacity is still high, and I'm just gonna draw a circle. Oh, that's too big. You can go ahead and hit back if you want to, redo it. I'll just move the ruler and create a different circle. Sorry. There you go. And now I won't be needing the circles anymore, so I'm just going to turn that thing off. Alright, so I'm going to zoom this in so that I can clearly see where I'm drawing. Doesn't matter if it's perfect or not, because we're going to fill that in later. So with a free hand, I'm going to imagine that I am going to draw an almond shape. Almond shape. Yeah, adjust my brush so that I can see it. And then another almond shape right here. There. And then for the last shape, we're going to imagine a triangle. Right? Or just gonna do that. Right. So I'm gonna adjust my brush again to a size bigger so that it's going to be easy for me to fill it in. And I'm just going to expand that and color. Just fill it in. If you make a mistake, just hit the back button and adjust it to your liking. You can drag the canvas up and down using 2 fingers. Doesn't matter if you go over the lines, it's just a guide. And then we also fill this part in. Okay, we'll do the other bird. Now all we need for the birds are the beaks. So I'm going to adjust my pen again to make it smaller. And I just want to really imagine a small triangle peeking out on the other side, and we just color that in as well. There you go. All right, we have the two birds. Now we're going to add another layer, and we're gonna go back to this piece right here. It's a double arrow down button, and we tap that, and you will add by pressing or tapping the plus sign. All right, now we want our birds to be in the topmost layer of the drawing, and so we're just gonna move that by pressing the three bars here, long press, and then drag it at the top. And I'll show you later the difference it makes when you're drawing in layers. It'll make sense after we finish the art. All right, so what you want to do is draw in the second layer, and then let's go back to our canvas. All right, so I'm gonna zoom this in so I can see clearly where the almond and the triangles or the tail meet. And we are going to just draw a branch passing through that part of the bird. See? All right. Now I'm going to make my brush bigger again so it's faster. And I'm just gonna draw a branch. Depends how you want your branch to look like. If you want it to look more artistic, then just make it more crooked. And the base should be fatter than the tip. And I'll just do that. Right. Don't worry about it. We're going to fill that in later. Right. And then I'm just gonna draw to my heart's content wherever I want to put my branches and where I want it to look good. You can put 2, you can put 3, up to you. And then I'm just gonna adjust this back to something smaller so I can make a few more details. And branches are not straight, they're crooked, so just make it as crooked as you can. Don't worry about it. You'll clean it up later. Let's just clean it up later. Okay. There. And then I'm gonna add more here. There you go. Alright, so I'm gonna zoom that in as I go, adjust my brush as I go, because I'm going to fill it in with the black color. Okay, we're just gonna fill that in. see it. Alright, so now that we have the tree painted, we're just gonna add highlight to that tree, and since we're working on layer 2, we'll start with the tree. We are going to use the airbrush again and adjust the brush to a smaller size, around 30 or 20. And we're going to choose white. And let's go back to the canvas. So what we want to do is just highlight where possibly that light hits the tree, and that's gonna be let's say the left side of that tree. So I'm just gonna lightly brush right side, all the right side of that tree, just to give it a bit of dimension. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're just, you know, making it look alive. Doesn't really matter if the lines are perfect. It's just a highlight. And as I go and do the smaller branches, I'm also going to adjust my brush. Okay. There you go. And then on this side, we're going to shade the trunk. Shade it like that. Shade it like that. So we're gonna skip the tail because technically the bird is standing there and we just want it to look more concise. There. Doesn't have to be perfect. Right. Okay. Now we're going to switch layers because we're also going to do that to the birds. So I'm going to switch to where the birds are, and that's layer 3, and do the same. So probably just do it here, here, and I want to imagine the wings right there. There. All right. Now for the leaves, we are going to go back to the tree. So go back to layer 2 and do the leaves. So let's go back to the brush type. I'm going to choose a brush that would give me a spread of dots. So I'm going to look for that here. There you go. You can use the sequin star or any sequin brush, or you could also use something else. There are other creative options for you to choose from. If you want to draw the leaves of the trees, you have, you know, sparkles. If you want to do sparkles, you can just scroll, and you want to do hearts, that's also fine. But I am going to use, for the purpose of this demo, I'm gonna use sputtering, or you can also use flower shower, or you could use leaves. Oh, you can go ahead and do that. I want it a bit more spread, so I'm gonna choose this one. Alright. And I'm just gonna adjust the size of my leaves so that it looks cute. And I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. Oh, I forgot that it's white. Just back that and change the color to black, and just tap, 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 tap. There you go. Alright. So there's your tree. I'm gonna go and add another layer, and I'm gonna put that layer right above the birds. There we go. And I'm gonna work in layer 4, and I'm going to go ahead and change my brush to a heart-shaped brush. Let's go to the hearts. Let's look for the hearts. Let's look for hearts. I can't find it. There you go. So I'm going to use that and adjust to my heart's liking. There. And I'm just going to tap, 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 tap. Or we can make it smaller. You can do that, or just, you know, tap. There. And lastly, we're going to add another layer for your greeting. So we're going to work on layer 5 and hit the brush type, and I'm going to choose text. Tap on the screen, double tap, and type the text you want to add. Alright, so I'm going to choose a font. I'm going to go for something like this and tap. Happy Valentine's Day. And then I'm going to resize my font so it fits my drawing. I can just drag this here, put it right here, and I want to also change the size or the style of my font. I want to change the stroke to something that's black, and so that my letters look awesome. You can adjust how it looks like right there. I'm gonna use that and just put it right there. You can put it here, 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 here. Doesn't matter. Up to you. Alright. Now I promised you that I was going to explain why we were drawing in layers, and so I'll show you this. So the reason why we wanted to draw in layers, so that if you get bored with the design, you can just create a new background or a new design and keep the other aspects of the design without ruining everything. So let me show you. So for example, you got tired of the color palette that you chose and want to keep everything else the same. What I'm gonna do is just uncheck this, and you see that the background is gone. And then I can just add another layer, put it at the bottom, whichever layer or color palette that I choose, and it'll change. All right. So let's say I want to remove the greeting and change it to something different. I can just uncheck that and it's gone. Now if I move or rearrange the layer, it will also have a different impact to your drawing. Let's say I'm going to layer the birds at the very top. It's going to ruin my text. See? This is why you want the birds to be below the text, because it's technically like pieces of paper on top of each other, right? So let's put that back. There you go. Alright, so now that we're done with our design, you can sign it here if you want. So let's do a signature. Let's say I'm gonna do a signature right here. I'm gonna choose a brush that is my favorite, and then I'm gonna use a very small tip. Choose white, and then just sign it. Let me do that again. There. Right. So if we're gonna save this, want to save this as a JPEG file, then you just hit back to my gallery and then click the three dots at the bottom. You can save it as a JPEG and it will go to your gallery in your phone. And if you also want to create a video, a how-to video, or you want to see how you created the drawing and wanted to view it like a movie, you could just save as movie with MP4 format. And if you want to watch it again, you can just hit the play button and it will show you the process. Alright. Thank you so much for watching.